Hey guys, for this podcast, I know I'm coming a day late, but I wanted to show up candidly and talk to you guys about my last quarter. So I'm going to be calling these episodes my 2 cents on the last quarter. Get it? So I'm basically going to be sharing lessons that I've learned. I'm going to be sharing things that have helped me thrive in this last quarter. I'm going to be sharing what I'm taking into this next quarter from the last quarter, as well as things I'm looking forward to in this quarter. So my hope is that these episodes will inspire you and provide you with tidbits of knowledge for your own quarters and inspire you also to live more intentionally as you move into the next quarter, just by hearing some of the ways that I think about my own quarter. So if you imagine two girlfriends sitting down over a cup of tea and just kind of talking about life really intentionally while listening to, I don't know, some Erica or Jill Scott in the background, that is my intention for these episodes. So I hope you guys will enjoy this type of content. So let me know what you think. So quarters are important milestones that give us the opportunity to reset during the year. You guys know I love yearly goals. I'm very intentionally about planning my years, and quarters are a way to help me kind of stop and catch my breath on my route to achieving those goals, manifesting those yearly goals. So it's something that I'm also trying to be more and more intentional about as I get older, and it's helped me in a lot of ways. So taking the time to reflect is a key part of evolving and becoming a better person. And so, like I said, I'm hoping that you'll have your own takeaways to help you as you evolve as well. So let's just jump right into what are my 2 cents on this last quarter. So first, we can talk about lessons that I learned. In the first quarter, you may hear my voice. I myself am getting over a cold, which was probably one of the worst colds I've ever had. And that leans into my first lesson from the last quarter, which was having even more buffer time. So I think in a recent video, talked about putting buffer time into your schedule each week to account for things going over or kids getting sick. And I realized I need even more of that time. You know, I feel like I've had the realization before, but this quarter really just reminded me to take it seriously, those buffer times of as far as planning in my calendar, so I can really account for having time to take care of my kids, to take care of myself, or whatever it is that comes in life's way, or just things taking longer than expected. So I'm going to even plan even more buffer time for myself in this next quarter, because product development you guys know I'm launching a planner soon. That everything takes longer with developing product than you want it to take. I've been developing this planner for over a year. Kids get sick more than you want them to get sick, and then guess what? They get you sick. And so really, one of the things I'm proud of during this time has been that I have been really compassionate with myself. I've not beat myself up for missing, self-imposed deadlines. I've been able to move with grace as some of these things have come up. But I feel like this first quarter, because I had a lot of those things happen, I was just constantly trying to catch my breath. And I feel like now that I'm at this kind of restarting point of Q2, I want to start afresh with creating more space for those moments, so I don't have to feel like I'm always trying to catch up or catch my breath. So that was, a major lesson for me in my first quarter. And if you guys are wondering how I remember these things from my quarter, I plan pretty intentionally. And so I plan my months. In my month planning, I write down lessons and notes of things I want to remember. That way, when it comes to time to review my quarter, I don't have to remember every single thing from like January. I have my notes on the most significant things that happen, wins, challenges, all in my planner, because I write them down when I plan my months. Okay, another lesson that I recently learned that has been pretty powerful. Well, there have been a couple, I would say, phrases that have stuck with me in this last quarter. There's three. So the first one is take it easy. The second one is, and I'll explain all of these. The second one, oh gosh, what was the second one? Well, I'll go into the third one. The third one was stay focused and don't be afraid. And that's a line from the King Richard movie. Oh, and the second one was how you do one thing is how you do everything. And it's kind of this juxtaposition. And even if I look at my yearly goals, it's about slowing down, but also speeding up. So this idea of I want to slow down, but I also want to speed up in certain areas of my life. And how do I come to balance both of those things, both of those desires? And it really comes down to working smarter, not harder, but also working in a way that's focused so I can slow down and focus on what it is that I do want to do and go harder and faster in those areas while leaving the other spaces in my life much slower. And so the first thing, the phrase that really hit me this quarter was during, I had a photo shoot for my product. I had a couple different photo shoots. The first photo shoot that I had, it was a snow day, and so my photographer canceled on me the night before, and she's a friend of mine, and I totally understood because she lives in the mountains and she couldn't come down because she was completely snowed in, so that makes complete sense. I was left without a photographer. My model forgot her shoes, and I didn't have any help loading any of my stuff into the location, and I also had this calm about me that I was just going to take things easy that day, and everything went super fine. Everything was actually really great. I took the pictures myself. They came out really nice. The model was really kind, gracious. The studio owner helped me, and I remember that calmness that day, and one of the things I was saying to myself was just take it easy. Let's just take it easy, and that phrase stuck with me throughout the quarter. The other phrase that stuck with me is how you do one thing is how you do everything. And, I've started back in my workout journey this year after having the 2 kiddos. And I feel like last year when I was working out, I was kind of, doing my thing, leaning harder into things that I'm excel at, like yoga, but like my strength and cardio training I wasn't going hard, y'all. I was just kind of easing my way back into it. And I realized one workout, if I'm kind of half-assing this is going to show up in other areas of my life. I need to become consistent at going hard and giving forth my best effort in everything that I do. And then things will just come naturally to me. And something that's not only helped me out in my exercise world, but helped me out in other areas that I'm maybe not as motivated to do and to get done, to help me remind me of my values of being passionate and giving my best, really. And then that third statement I mentioned was stay focused and don't be afraid. That's at the end of the King Richard movie, which now I guess is pretty controversial after the whole Will Smith slap that echoed across the world. But I watched it recently, and at the end of the movie, Serena says, when they got to one of their biggest tournaments in their careers, their father told them, this is the moment you've been waiting for your entire life. Stay focused and don't be afraid. And that simple statement just resonated with me. I feel like I'm doing a lot of things in my life right now where I can get consumed with fear if I let it take me over, as far as starting a new business, being a mom of 2, being a wife, working a full-time job, putting out content, being vulnerable in the way of putting out content all the time. And what I liked about that statement that it reminded me of was that I have been preparing for this. I've been getting my PhD, been waiting to get done with my PhD so I can start the businesses of my dreams. I've been, writing blogs and writing since I was little. I have been preparing for this time in my life to really go hard for what it is I want to do for so long that I just have to stay focused and don't be afraid. So those are my major lessons from the last quarter of catching my breath and also sort of allowing myself to grow in a way that I am leaning into things more slowly, but also more intentionally and with more fire inside of me. I also want to talk to you guys about things that have helped me thrive, things that have just been like, ooh, things I've loved this quarter, things that have just been good that I just want to share with you guys. And maybe you'll like some of these things, or you'll have your own that you can tell me about either in a review of this podcast or on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube in the comments. So I'm going to post this podcast on my personal channel, Tiffany Shelton, but I'm also going to post it on Mod Ambition if you want to watch it later and come on over and talk to me. So things that have helped me thrive this quarter, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see I have nails. I've been liking to do my own nails, and so I have always ran into a couple conflicts. First conflict, if you just paint them, they chip and they don't look as professional. Then I tried gel nail polish, and that wasn't working for me either, because like the shape of my nails, and it was also just like peeling off. So then I got into doing my nails, and the reason I don't go to a salon is because I feel like the part I enjoy about doing getting my nails done is actually doing it, the creative process of doing it, like painting it, and it's all like therapeutic for me. So if someone else is doing it, it kind of takes away the fun part of me, and I kind of just get impatient waiting for my nails to get done. So then I started doing hybrid gel, or I think some people call it gelish, or it's a mix, I think, of acrylic and gel. And that's a huge learning curve with like learning to shape and everything. But then recently I discovered full cover soft gel tips. So they're pretty much done for you, but you can still mold them and file them. And they're better than like press-ons in the sense that you don't have to use glue. You put them on with actual gel. So they stay on longer. You can do a fill with them. So if you're into doing your own nails and you find joy out of it, but you don't want to become an expert at an expert nail technician, you can try full covered nail tips. I have really liked them, and they have been fun. Another things that have helped me thrive this quarter have been date nights with my husband. We have brought them back more frequently this quarter. It was difficult for a while with sleep training the babies and not having a babysitter. Now we have a babysitter, so we've been able to get out a couple nights, go out on the town, have some good food, enjoy each other's company as Tiffany and JV, and not mom and dad, although we end up talking about our kids a lot during the date nights. But it's just been good to, like, I guess, reconnect with a part of myself beyond work and motherhood. Just like, you know, laughing and getting dressed up and those kinds of things. So before we got married, and even after we got married, but mainly before we had kids, we used to go to date night every Friday. So it's really a staple in our relationship. So it was really, really nice to get back to those. Obviously, if you've listened to this podcast at all, you've noticed that I mentioned my planner a lot. So my paper planner has really been a staple in helping me thrive this quarter. I have been using a prototype of the one that I'm going to be releasing. So it's had all the things that I want in a planner, and it has been, I would say, life-changing. I have felt less overwhelmed. It's probably played a huge part into me being more gracious with myself when there's been setbacks. And because it has the structure and the system I use to manifest my goals and to stay on top of what I need to do, it has just been such a game changer, which is why I'm so excited to release it to you guys. If you want to get on the wait list for it, I will put a link in the description of this podcast and this show if you're watching on YouTube. And then the last thing I want to mention to you guys is Sunday prep has been saving me. I have been going a little bit harder in the Sunday prep, trying to get more into how I was before I had kids, which was a little bit regimented, but I had so much going on in my life. It was the only way that I was getting everything done. And I feel like when I got pregnant and then maternity leave and then getting the kids sleeping, I kind of fell off to just doing the essentials of prepping, whereas now I'm going back like hardcore in the meal prep, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's helping me again, feeling less overwhelmed, which for me, I'll take all the help that I can get. I also want to talk to you guys about what I'm taking into my next quarter. So I talked a little bit about moving slow but fast, and there is this concept of Einstein time, which you guys can, look into more on your own, but it's this idea of time slowing down when you're in and of a flow and focused on something. And how your time is a perception, and we have control over that perception and really leaning into taking control of that perception. So that's what I've been doing and kind of owning my own time, and I'm definitely going to take that into my next quarter. So like even filming this podcast right now, I would normally think of like, right, I don't have enough time because I have to go do this and that and at 5, which is in about 20 minutes from now. But the reality is I can do it. I just need to turn on my camera, turn on my microphone, and get it done. And that's what I'm doing. And not everything has to be perfect, but I can bend my perception of time towards my will, and I'm going to take that with me. Another thing I'm going to take into the next quarter is that flexibility and grace for myself that I've talked about during those setbacks, and that romance with the hubby. I want to, be more intentional about that. I feel like when we were dating, I was very intentional about being romantic with him, and doing all the little cute little things, and becoming a mom. I think that energy has went into a lot of my kids, creating memories for them. So, I want to put more energy into creating that energy between the two of us. So I'm going to take that with me as well, into the next quarter. And then things I'm looking forward to this quarter, I have done Christian's birthday. That already happened because it happened this past Saturday, which was amazing. I have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old now, and that was really nice. My parents came in town for his birthday. All of our neighborhood friends came, and friends that we have here in Colorado. We had wishes from around the world on social media, so thank you guys. And yeah, I think if I pause and think about it, I'm really proud of myself and celebrating myself just as much as him and JV, us as parents of 2 under 2 for a year. We've made it, and how I'm growing as a person as a result of mothering these 2 little angels who sometimes don't act like angels but are angels. And yeah, that was really exciting. The other thing I'm looking forward to this quarter is decorating and organizing our bedroom and bathroom. So we have been living here, well, it's a long story. So we moved, I think, within the last 4 years, probably about 4 times. I did my internship before I got my PhD in San Diego, was going back and forth to LA. Then we moved to a smaller apartment when I was in LA when I was pregnant with Layla. So that was about 2 years ago, and had her in that small apartment to save money before buying her home. Then when I had her, she was about 3 months, we moved to Colorado. Then I got pregnant again, and we found our dream home, and we moved here when I was pregnant with my second one. So moving here, I have been pregnant and taking care of little ones, and I haven't done as much decoration and organizing as I would like to have done. So I say all that to say I am just now tackling organizing my bathroom, my closet, and my bedroom. Although, it's organized to a certain extent, but it's not like how I want it to look, and it's definitely not decorated how I want to look. I did our office, our work from home offices, and our library already, but now I'm going to move on to our room. I feel like that's the next space, and I'm really excited about doing that. I have like a modern, organic aesthetic, and yeah, I am buying all the organizational bins because that motivates me, and then I'm going to edit, so get rid of stuff, and then organize, and then decorate. So I'm excited for that, so stay posted. The last thing I am super excited for this quarter, which I feel like has been such a long time coming, is launching my new business, this new product. I have some fear that I'm managing. I have some beliefs that I am leaning into my more positive beliefs, but overall the overwhelming feeling I have is excitement. If you're watching me now, I just had my eyes closed because I was really just trying to feel what I was feeling, and I'm looking forward to this new chapter in my life. I have huge aspirations for this business. I'm happy to be sharing the behind the scenes of my process with you guys on my YouTube channel, on this podcast, on social media. So follow me on all the things. I'll be dropping the tea and instilling all the lessons that I learned from my first business. By the way, I'm on TikTok, as this is part of my content now. It's also on TikToks _Tiffany Shelton, so follow me there too. I'm just excited for all the things. And I'm excited mostly, I think, because I know I have a product that can help people, I know I have a product that will make women feel less overwhelmed, that will help people reach their goals. And it's kind of like my Dream Life Academy program, like hearing some of the testimonials of people and what they have manifested or how it's made their lives easier. That's the joy for me that gets me really excited about what I'm doing, to create something that you know is going to help people. And it also looks good and something I enjoy. That's really, really exciting. So like I said, if you want to get on the wait list for it, I would love to get you one in your hands as well. I will put the link in the description. So that is my 2 cents on the last quarter. I would love to end this episode by offering an intention for you this week. May you start fresh with intention and compassion. Namaste.